Hello and welcome to Encore. Coming up on today's show. One of the funniest men around has written the smartest book in the world. Comic, actor, and podcast star Greg Proops is best known for his quick-fire wit on the hit improv comedy show Whose Line Is It Anyway? A man of many talents, he's lent his voice to Bob the Builder, Star Wars, and The Nightmare Before Christmas. The Funnyman joins us in the studio. Greg Proops, aka the Proopster, or the Proop Master. Welcome to the show. Did I get them all? Are there any that I've missed?
Yes, you did. Thank you, Mariam.
Poop Dog?
Yes, or the Mariam Kitten, as you're known.
Now, the smartest book in the world, your book that you've got right there with you, took 2 years to fill out around 300 pages with everything from history, art, and literature to baseball, drugs, and vodka.
Yes.
Tell me, Greg, did you have to pass around a vodka flask to get that first pitch over the line in that initial meeting?
I went into the meeting, and it was everything we talk about in the podcast, which is feminism and history, baseball, drugs, whatnot. And I couldn't remember someone's name that I wanted to remember. And the woman who ran the division at the time, I started hitting her, and I said, "What's that person's name?" And she went, "You're hitting me. No one's ever hit me at a meeting." And that's when I knew that I'd sold it, because she knew I was enthusiastic about it. So
nice. You kind of forced your way in with that.
I think so, yes.
Now,
my own subtle way.
As you said, it's based on the podcast, The Smartest Man in the World. Congratulations. It's in the iTunes top 10 and it's been downloaded more than 9 million times.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think that part of the appeal of that podcast is that you're completely uncensored?
I do, Mariam. I always thought stand-up was the most effective way to communicate directly with an audience, but I find podcasting is even more intimate. And I think it's because people are listening on earphones or in their car or in their bicycle or on their way to work or whatever. And also there's no meetings that take place. There's no sponsorship that gets in my way. There's no corporate anything. So it's really from the heart, from me to them.
What's as far out on the limb that you've been during a podcast?
Well, I mean, you know, I talk a lot about the government and our current government in the United States, which is a very illegitimate white supremacist government. And you can't really say things like that all the time on regular TV because people get angry. So I'm able to say it on the podcast and people understand what I'm talking about.
Now, you live in Hollywood, a place that you've called the Kardashian state. And your Twitter bio reads, "We fight Trumpism." My question, Greg, how are you holding up?
Well, as well as anyone, I'm fortunate and privileged, so I get to travel around and do things. I have a tiny little platform whereby I can speak what I think is the truth, and so therefore I do.
And what's your truth when it
My
comes to
truth is that women come first in this world, and that we have a president who's a raging misogynist as well as a racist, and therefore that has to be rectified and fought against at all times.
Let's get inside your book.
All right.
To a softer side of the book. A poem. You love poetry.
I do.
Would you read us your favorite?
It's William Blake, and it's called Auguries of Innocence. William Blake thought he saw God when he was a child and told his parents as much. And they really didn't get on him for it, which is the best part. They gave him full reign to do what he wished. He was kind of a mystic from the 19th century. And this is the lines that I really like. "Every night and every morn, some to misery are born. Every morn and every night, some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to endless night. We're led to believe a lie when we see not through the eye, which was born in a night to perish in a night, when the soul slept in beams of light. God appears and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night."
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
It is.
Striking. Speaking of the power of words, let's talk about your Prooptionary, which features in the book. You detail words you wish you would disappear, and others you wish we would use more. Can you give us one from each side of the spectrum?
I'd be chuffed to do both. I think people should use words. You hear a lot of words on the news bandied around, like oligarchy and kleptocracy and plutocracy, particularly now. No one ever really defines them for people, and I think people wander around wondering, what they mean. A plutocracy means a country ruled by the richest people, and I say it's the most accurate word currently in our possession. As for words that I wish would be banned, I'm very tired of hearing people use the word epic. In the States, particularly, people will go, I had a taco and it was epic. And no, it wasn't epic. Climbing the Alps is epic. Crossing the ocean in a boat single-handedly is epic. Your taco's not epic. You're overdoing it. You're overstressing. And people also use a lot of acronyms like YOLO and stuff like that. And I feel like if you're 11, that's fantastic. After a certain age, you've got to checkity-check yourself before you wreckity-wreck yourself.
I love that. So epic is out, and so is LOL and all of those.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm never going to stop people from using them, and I use emojis as well, so I think we all get the cute sometimes.
Okay, emojis are in. Anyone who reads this book would be smarter for it. Do you think that having written it, you're smarter now?
Yes. Because I had to research a lot of things, and I didn't research. I used the computer, of course, but I didn't use Wikipedia or anything like that. I tried to use books as my reference source because books are often vetted and a source of facts. And I think the internet is full of a lot of ephemera that's not as sorted out as it might be and not as annotated. Also, my wife gave me the idea for so many things that are in the book, and my wife is really the source for a lot of information that I come by. So just knowing her has made me smarter.
Oh, well, your wife, Jennifer, as you mentioned, she played a big role in you writing this book and making it a reality. Can I ask, is she the reason, or one of the reasons, why you write woman with a capital W and refer to God as a she?
I do, and that is exactly the reason why. My wife has taught me everything about, how I can be a better man, maybe a little more sensitive to what women are about, and it's been very instructive. A lot of men really never come by any of that information and seem to kind of hold up in their own male toxic masculinity.
Greg, we're going to take a look at you in action.
Oh, hooray.
Here's a taping of your set at Comedy Works where feminism falls in the punchline. Take a look.
That's why men invented guns, right? To shoot people they're afraid of, or in this day and age, to have the police kill poor people at the behest of the rich. That's why there's guns, right? I mean, they don't make people laugh. They don't write poetry. Nothing good comes out of a gun. And the crowd's going quiet. Yeah, but Greg, there's a yield sign near my house that has been giving me some attitude. When it's as easy to get an abortion as it is to buy a gun, then you can tell me we're equal in this country. That's all.
So you're quite critical of your home country.
Yes.
And you do love Paris. So do you think that we could keep you then?
I had a door to stay. I just need a little place to live. I don't eat much. Well, I do eat a lot. That's actually not true. And just vodka, and I'd be happy.
And you'd be happy in Paris.
Yeah.
You've said that it's your favorite city to play at because when you finish a show, you can go off and get a crepe. Do you like sweet or savory crepes?
Savory. I'm more of a ham and cheese girl than the Nutella, but I'll eat Nutella.
And you know, if you move to Paris, then you'd have more material for the sequel to 10 Pieces of Art. I Wish I Had the Balls to Steal, which is another chapter in your book. Tell me, what would be your ultimate art haul?
Well, the Marmiton has all the Monets, and it has the water lilies, and there's a very easy way to take them. Of course, you mustn't do it. Art theft is terrible and wrong, unless I think we pull our Renault into the car park, which is right below. There's open windows and very bored docents up there, and I think you would be able to get one out the window and just sort of chuck it down and then wrap it up, throw it in the back of the Renault, and then we're off.
You've just given away your game plan, Greg.
Most art theft is that simple. That's the horrible part of it. Every time they steal the Scream by Edvard Munch, it's always that. And the last time the Scream was stolen several years ago, the thieves left a note that said, "Thanks for the bad security."
Wow. Well, that could be another career for you, but you've already got a great one. You came up on Whose Line Is It Anyway? That's the hit improv TV show. You've been cracking us up for more than 2 decades alongside regulars like Ryan Stiles, Colin Mockery.
Which one's he? Oh, the tall one, yeah.
The tall one, Colin Mockery.
The older fellow, yes.
Wayne Brady.
Yes, he's the show-off, yeah.
Now, between you and me, it's just us here. No one else really is listening in. Is there one member of the cast that, likes to upstage everybody else?
Oh, you know what? We should have more rivalry. That's the problem with the show. We all get along so well, and I've worked with all of them for so long. I should say, I hate Colin, just to have something to say. No, we all throw the ball around. We can bounce past bounce pass backwards to each other with our eyes closed. I think Wayne's the biggest show-off, but then Wayne's enormously talented and is a musical comedy star of the highest caliber. I'm in a group with Ryan and Jeff Davis and Joel Murray, who's Bill Murray's brother, and we tour the country of the United States. I can't get Ryan to fly over the ocean.
Well, we want you to play a little bit with us now, if
All
that's
right.
okay. Let's run a word association game since you're so quick on your feet. Tell me the first word that comes to your mind when I say Trump.
Mango Mussolini,
Paris.
exquisite.
Men.
Pigs,
Women.
fantastic.
Ryan Stiles.
Too tall.
Wine.
Yes.
Art.
Yeah, I'd like some, please.
Comedy.
Not my thing.
Google.
Google? Semi-useful.
America.
We could read more.
San Francisco.
San Francisco, fantastic.
Religion.
Sometimes useful.
Orwell.
Orwell, prescient.
Baseball.
Baseball? A lot of white people.
Love.
Yes.
Media.
They could tell the truth more.
Democracy.
It's a good idea.
France 24.
France
where we
24.
are right now.
Fantastique. Merveilleux.
Magnifique.
Magnifique.
Messy. Well, we're coming to the end of the show now, I'm
Oh, no.
afraid to say. It's been so much fun sitting here with you.
I know.
We asked you to pick your coup de coeur, which is a highlight from the world of arts and culture.
Oui.
And you've selected the Oscar-nominated documentary, I Am Not Your Negro. So what struck you most about this film?
Well, James Baldwin was a writer of some power, and he lived in Paris for a good long time. Then he came back to the United States for the Civil Rights Movement because he said he couldn't sit it out on the sidelines. And this picture, put together by Raoul Beck, the Haitian American or Haitian director who's Minister of Culture in Haiti, is unbelievably pertinent to today's America. The way the state of race in the United States, the election, as you know, was a forum on women and race, and having had a calm, judicious, intelligent black president, and then trying to elect a calm, judicious woman, and then we ended up with what we got. I think that this movie speaks to us across time. And if James Baldwin was alive now, he'd be saying the exact same things that he says in this picture.
Well, let's end on that note. We're going to leave you with an excerpt of the Raoul Peck directed film, I Am Not Your Negro. Tune into the Proopcast, the smartest man in the world, and read the book. Thanks for being here, Greg.
Thank you, Mariam.
And thank you for watching. Stick around. There's more news coming up on France 24 right after this.
The Israelis pick up guns, or the Poles, or the Irish, or any white man in the world says, give me liberty or give me death, the entire white world applauds. When a black man says exactly the same thing, word for word, he is judged a criminal and treated like one, and everything possible is done to make an example of this bad nigger so there won't be any more like him.